Hey, I'm Jonathan, otherwise known as Jonno.
I'm Lister, otherwise known as Zantok, and we're not alone. I don't like this. Why
We're
are there
not alone,
people
and this is
here?
Supercast Brothers, as the podcast's name is, as should go at the top of the intro. But we're going to let it slide this time because we are excited to have guests.
I'm scared.
I'm not, but hey, let's introduce them. So our first lovely individual has been a part of my life for just about 2 decades. And why don't you just go right on ahead and toss your name into the ring?
Hey there, everybody. I am Trevor, sometimes known as Turbotaxer, or pretty much that's it.
He smells
I've
funny.
been to long. Yeah, I just shower. It was a
Hmm.
lot of work.
Long work day, huh?
Yeah, and when you gotta bathe elephants, that's what happens. You get smelly, right?
Yeah, and I think we can toss it on over to the guest that we had actually planned to be a part of this episode for multiple weeks and didn't just improvise at the last second. No offense to you, Trevor, but that was my doing, and I do love it. I love that we have four people here, and who's the fourth?
Hi guys, I'm Jake. I've known John and Lister for quite some time now.
Hmm.
Our roots go all the way back, ironically enough, couple almost a decade now to Super Smash Brothers fan forum.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Good old
I,
Mercurius.
Good old Mercurius. I
It,
actually
you
think
know what? I have a question for you, Jake. Do you remember what your very first character submission was on Mercurius?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, that's unfortunate because I did the research and I went and found
Oh,
it.
the receipts.
Oh, yo, damn right. And you know what? Honestly, I feel like it holds up fairly well, especially compared to some of Jonno and I's very first ones that we did, and they were not great. But your
oh
first
yeah,
one is Gooey from the Kirby games.
Ooh, not a
Yeah,
bad choice even today. Yeah, I guess it
yeah.
does hold up pretty well.
hey, when was that post made?
That was posted on June 20th, 2009.
Wow,
Oh,
so
wow, look
it
at
has
that.
been over 10 years. It has been
Yeah.
over 10 years.
Now, to be fair, the Mercurius Wiki has gone through some changes as the people who originally owned that type of forum have been bought out and things have changed.
Hmm.
So it's possible some old posts have been deleted because I kind of find it suspicious you didn't post anything until after Brawl released. That doesn't quite feel right, but
Hmm.
that's what the data gives me.
Okay, well, yeah, the GUI submission holds up remarkably well. Did you do any research on any of Turbotaxer's submissions?
I did, and it's also part of what leads me to believe that something is screwy with the site. Because according to this, Turbo's first move was posted on April 4th, 2009, and it's of a character that was actually in Brawl and is not actually his own submission. It's more like a slight alteration to Lucas of
Oh,
Earthbound.
okay, got it, got
It,
it.
it's got the same moves, it's just slightly different properties. But the first one
Yep.
I can find that's an actual character not in Smash was one that you two worked on together.
Oh, nice.
The
I have no recollection.
blobs
What?
from Puyo
Oh,
Puyo.
oh.
I remember
Mm.
this. Oh
You know,
man.
you know what? That was great. And why
With,
not, right?
with such great moves like Puyo Fling and Engulf, Puyo Climb, Puyo
Oh,
Ball. Whereas
Action is.
Gooey has moves such as Tongue and Cutter and Choo Choo Shoot,
yeah.
which by the way I love Choo Choo Shoot. That's a great name. I got to give a lot of credit to
Hey,
that one.
hey,
It's a
you
little
know,
bit better than tongue, maybe.
I mean, if Joker can have a move called Gun,
yep. You know what though? I think we all can appreciate tongue. So, with that said, with
all
that
right.
said,
Christ, like I didn't know
so
Lickitung was in
yeah.
Smash.
Well, Gengar and between Gengar, Gooey, and Chucky, Finster, we have a broad range of characters available on Smashtopia who incorporate tongues into their moveset. So why not? So yeah, Trevor and Jake both also hail from Super Smash Bros. Mercurius, which we've covered on the podcast in the past. Run by DK3, who was most notorious for making those huge
Rosters
CSS
images.
rosters. Yeah, yeah, for Smash. and that are still floating around the internet nowadays. Whether they still hold water or not is another thing. But he built a legacy for a while, and he later went on to create roller coaster simulations, and then dropped off the face of the earth. But during that time, I mean, we have to give him credit where credit's due. We all kind of came together. I've known Trevor longer. I've known him since the first day of first grade. But I mean, the reason why we're a cohesive friend group and have still been talking for over a decade now is because of Mercurius and because of Smash Brothers. And considering the nature of the on topic episode that we're getting into today, looking back at Everyone Is Here,
Oh
it
boy.
makes sense. It makes sense that everyone is here.
Well,
Everyone is here.
almost everyone.
Yeah, well, Jake and Trevor
Rip that
are,
fire, boy.
Yep, Jake and Trevor are everyone to me.
Oh,
And you.
jeez.
And you.
I was
And you.
about to say, where am I in this equation? Wow. Okay. I see
Yep.
how it is. Let me just lower the volume on your mic just a little bit so nobody can hear you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, goodness gracious. So Lister, this has been something that we've been looking forward to for a long time. So, want to take it away on kind of an overview of what we're doing this episode?
Right. So,
Yeah.
as we know, when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was first shown off at E3 2018, it became well known for just three little words. Everyone is here. And by that, I do mean everyone. Every single fighter from Super Smash Bros. History was back playable. You've got, obviously, Mario, Samus, we got back Mewtwo, we got Snake, Young Link, Pichu, characters that we never thought we would see again. The trainer mechanic of Pokemon Trainer even returned. I thought that was gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
It was utterly shocking. In fact, when we settled on this podcast, I went back and rewatched that trailer. And you know me, I don't tend to emote a whole lot, but getting to that about 5 minutes in, where they're showing Snake crackling back onto the stage right before those words "everyone is here" comes up, I got fucking emotional. I'm not even kidding right now.
Yeah.
It was insane. I was just like, why are my eyes watering? This is not supposed to be happening. I'm rewatching a 2-year-old, a 1.5-year-old trailer. Why? I know what happened.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Is this what it feels like for people that go back and rewatch those sad romance movies? I don't know. I don't know what feelings are. Somebody please help. I feel like I'm breaking.
I think you've summed it up pretty well. The three words "everyone is here" are truly one of those moments that blew everybody's collective minds at the time, and still continue to, because really, what a dream roster we have, and how lucky are we that we've got such
an all-star cast.
Absolutely, truly, Nintendo's All-Stars is what it was born as, but then it became this unbelievable crossover between multiple corporations that we never would have thought we never thought we would see come together collectively, right? Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Square Enix bringing Cloud. That was a huge long shot from many fans. Just wildest dreams, really.
90 some odd amazing characters plus Jigglypuff. I just can't believe it. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, my thoughts on that are essentially summed up in a song.
As I thought they might be.
As I remove my headset.
Oh no.
The best part is I could actually mute his mic so the viewers don't have to hear this.
But they did. Yeah. So that's about that. That's about that.
And then we all fell asleep and we couldn't do the cast.
And Jonno hugged everyone.
Yeah, and then Jonno came in and hugged everybody. That's how did you read my mind? So, yeah. So everyone is here.
So while we did have everyone is here, that was not the first bit of Smash Bros. News we had gotten that year. E3 2018 occurred in June when we got everyone is here, but a few months prior to that, we had just a regular old Nintendo Direct. Wasn't expecting anything big, nothing crazy. Which is like, oh hey, cool, game reveal, new news. That's awesome. Why are they replaying the trailer from Splatoon 1? That's weird. What's this about? What the fuck? Inklings in Smash. Wait, Smash? What? Hold on. What the fuck? The
Yeah,
thoughts
that was
going through my mind.
Oh yeah, that was a moment that you said you had gotten emotional too, if I recall.
I had to stop myself from screaming in the middle of class. Yes.
I was on the way home from a trip up to Phoenix to see my parents at the time. So that was I insisted to not drive back because I needed to watch the direct. And then what I before there was some lag out on the road, so what I got was smash from you over Facebook Messenger before like 10 seconds before the
Legit.
thing started. Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh my god." And then the trailer just sputtered out. We're like in like a no signal zone. I was like, God, why? And then it eventually loaded back, and I watched it, and it's just like, holy moly, Super Smash Brothers with Inklings, and it really kind of opened up a box of questions at that rate. Like, was this going to be an enhanced port or what?
Oh yeah. And they were like pretty much almost every day leading up to the E3 reveal, people were analyzing, hyper analyzing the little silhouette with flames that we had, showing the different characters, like trying to figure out, oh, who can we tell is back? All right, okay, I see Bowser. I see, is that maybe Pikachu? Is that Peach? I can't find Yoshi, guys. I can't find Yoshi. It's like, guys, chill. They're not cutting Yoshi. You're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I could have sworn I saw a Noman. Or who was it that we were talking about the other day? Was that like
Honeybee?
Furion Lannister? Furion.
No, we're not talking about Furio Tigre from Ace Attorney. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He is an awful character and should never have been in that game.
Okay. Okay. Understood. There's a hot take, but we seem to have one every episode. Nevertheless,
yeah, I think you guys have it right on the nose though about just wonder all that speculation, the fervent and ardent speculation that came out of that first really sampler of the newest Smash Brothers, like because of all of the other games that were coming off of the ill-fated Wii U to sell millions on the Switch, like Mario Kart 7 going to Mario Kart 8, sorry, going to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It was really giving most of these games a second shot at life on the Switch to get a big, huge install base of the Switch.
Yeah.
And then for us to get a new Smash Brothers so soon after Smash 4 had kind of just finished its release cycle and, still a very long-lived game itself. I would have to look up the date for it, but it wasn't a short-lived game. But even so, it still felt like it was really soon to be getting a new Smash Brothers game entirely, and not something like an enhanced port. But even so, drastically enhanced, coming from Smash 4 to Smash Ultimate.
Right.
Like they were heavy heated debates. Going like, are we getting a port? Are we getting an actual game? These debates continued past even the E3 trailer when it was shown. Hey, here's all the characters. Here's all these crazy things that are different. It's like people going, it's a port. It's like, stop. It's not. It could have been. Like before that announcement ever came up, before we even knew that Ultimate was going to happen, I had created a list of like 15 things. It's just like, hey, I'm predicting a Smash 4 port, Smash 4 Switch. Because the Wii U kind of screwed up, and they're porting everything else, so why not just port Smash 2, include some more stages, include some more characters. Hey, look, you can sell the game again, just like you do with all these others. And then they just blew us all out of the fucking water.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Trevor, what were you thinking about it at the time? Did you think that Smash was going to end up being a port, or did you think that we might have been getting a new game?
At the time, I was thinking that it was most definitely going to be a port. Thinking, oh, Splatoon, oh, they didn't introduce the character, maybe, probably just a port with an added character or two to incentivize you to buy it. I don't know. That's what they did with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, kind of. They included all the DLC characters. So I was kind of entrenched in that mindset that it was just going to be a port. which I guess makes sense also considering that they kind of did the split release of Smash 4 on Wii U and 3DS. Like, oh, they're going to do it on Switch as well. And so that's kind of where I was at with that.
Yeah, understood. And too, the port believers credit. That was a mighty quick turnaround for Ultimate, and we even got it like what 6 months after E3, which was just ridiculous.
Yeah, about 5 months after E3.
Oh, 5 months.
Yep.
Yeah, seriously. And then on top of that, there's still some elements of where an enhanced port would have been where it would be congruent with an enhanced port, because we barely got any new stages, barely got any new characters in the base game. But then when you're porting in so many old assets and revitalizing them in tens of thousands of different ways, I think there's no other way to go around it. Ultimate it turned out to be a completely new game, and it was the game to really blow us all out of the water. And
yeah.
It's a question of where are we going to go next, but I think before, what was that?
I was about to say, like, it also would not even surprise me if originally it was billed as a port. Like, maybe they had said, "Hey, Sakurai, we want you to port this," or maybe he was just like, "Hey, I could port Smash." I don't think he would ever necessarily intend to go into the idea of porting, but I could easily see Nintendo saying, "Hey, we want Smash on the Switch. Wii U is dying. Could you port Smash 4 to us for us?" And he was just like, "I could, but no, I'm doing Ultimate. Fuck off."
That truly does seem like his style, is to really go above and beyond what everyone is expecting, and full credit to him, both him as a director and full credit to Nintendo themselves as and his team as a collective, because they clearly have a lot of belief in his vision and his methodologies, and it's well known by this point that he is quite a workaholic and doesn't like to do things by half.
Dangerously so.
Yeah, sometimes to a dangerous extent, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. So before we really get into the question of wherever we think Smash might go from here, or anything post Everyone Is Here, I think it would be a cool idea to go back to that trailer and kind of revisit and relive our feelings at the time on that fateful E3 day. Starting out, I would like to say that we knew that Smash was going to be a big portion of the E3 trailer, and we already had some people who were coming out and saying, oh, hopefully we get this and that and this. But no, it was pretty much entirely Smash, and then we got like Super Mario Party.
Half of the direct was Smash. 20 out of 40 minutes.
Oh man. Yeah, and what a glorious 20 out of 40 minutes that is. Sorry to the non-Smash fans, but they're not listening to this podcast anyway.
Dear Animal Crossing fans, sorry.
Oh yeah.
See you next year.
Yeah, that about summed it up. Beyond that though, just that initial feeling of, oh my god, there's Sakurai. He's talking to us. It's like what a burst of nostalgia, and at the same time feeling like the me deity himself is talking directly at you, and introducing you into his abode for the next installment in the Smash Brothers series. And he's like, oh, here we're going to talk about the new Smash Brothers game on the Switch, and each of these characters, when we introduce them, next to their name will be numbers, and that will denote their
entry into the
series. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, why do we need that? Why do we need that? Exactly. And that's when, and there are some people who were going around the internet saying, oh yeah, everyone will be there, as like illegitimate leaks just kind of randomly blurting out. You're like,
that's right. Yeah, full marks to Nintendo also for keeping a lid on one of the most hyped up series of all time, because how do they keep us getting surprised, even with people like the Grinch leaker or the all kinds of these speculative crazy things coming out of the internet, the hype cycle surrounding Super Smash Brothers? How could they possibly in today's climate, keep all these secrets and still blow us away with moments like everyone is here.
Well, see, that's the funny thing is
Yeah.
there actually was one leaker out on 4chan that said that everyone was going to be back. They even had like everyone is here, and they called they called at least one of the new characters that was going to be revealed at E3. But that comment just completely sunk under the radar. Nobody paid any attention to it until after the fact, and that's insanity. Because like I pay attention to a lot of leaks, and I never even heard of that one until like a month or two later. It's like, holy shit. Even when there was a real one, people just was like, nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, we like, who could expect that the workload and the turnaround time would have ever allowed for that? Who would have known that Nintendo would have allowed those resources to be used to bring all these characters over?
Yeah.
It was insane, and it still feels like a magical thing to this day to load up Smash and look at that character select screen and just be like, oh, this is real. I still have trouble really coming to terms with that sometimes. Let's see here, Zantok. Oh, speaking of which, rolling that back a little bit, I noticed that you had a list of wishes you wanted to talk about prior to E3 or something.
So yeah, I do. I mentioned that I have a list of 15 items that I had come up with in the event that we get a Smash 4 port for Switch. These were like the 15 things I wanted. And I say 15, but some of them are just like, oh, give me these 3 characters. That's one of the items. And I had made this before the Inkling reveal, because I'm looking back and I was like, wow, I didn't even write on there to include the Inklings. Why am I crazy like that? That's dumb. How did I not do that? Because I was thinking in my head, probably save those for the next real Smash. Well, that's what we ended up getting. But the 15 things I had on here, like, if we got a port, was number 1, all the DLC is included on disc. Don't make us pay for all that nonsense again. If the Mii costumes had to be done again, fine, whatever. It's like 90 cents. But don't
you would
buy
pay for
Cloud
Corrin
second
again,
time.
right?
I mean, for the sake of completeness, yes.
$20.
No, in that case, no. Corrin can just go.
That's why I charge the money that I charge.
Corrin can go back to the Nord Fortress, never to be seen again.
Ah, okay.
Yes. The second item I had was that, oh hey, all those custom special moves that we had to unlock through inane means in Smash 4. Yeah, how about we just have those all from the very beginning, unlock them all immediately? Because no, I'm not grinding that out a third time.
I got a better idea. Why don't we just get rid of them all, except for the Mii fighters?
In all honesty, that's a better idea. I mean, to be fair, I do like the idea of customers. I think they were an interesting concept, but the development time for all of those per character, that's craziness. It was a smart thing to drop them for Ultimate. It really, really was.
I want a custom move for Incineroar where instead of a lowland whip, Incineroar just kind of comes in for a hug.
Isn't that what he does?
No, like just a hug.
No, I feel like that's already the attack. It's a hug.
And he heals you because through the power of friendship.
Heal Pulse, yeah. He learned that move from Autono.
Yeah, I would like that in the game.
Yeah.
I would like that in Smash.
Yeah. I would also like to not have Incineroar in the game.
Yeah.
And then connected to that one, item number 3 was just that, oh hey, the DLC characters that didn't have custom moves, they have them now. Because what the hell?
Yep. Or you can just get rid of them.
Yeah. So like I had on there, number 4, just give us new Mii costumes, which, no shit, that was always going to happen. I wanted all the Wii U stages and all the 3DS stages to come back, with a single exception to Flat Zone 2, because we already got Flat Zone X, so why do we need 2? We don't. It can go away. X is both 1 and 2, so we don't need the others.
Yeah.
I wanted them to include 3 new characters, those being Wolf, King K. Rool, and Banjo-Kazooie.
Cool.
Hey, congrats guys, we did it! We got him back.
Man. Holy moly, we did it.
I got something right.
It's funny that you say new in relation to Wolf.
Okay, well, he wasn't in Smash 4 proper, so...
Yeah, that's fair. It's just like funny saying... in retrospect, you know, the look back after everyone is here. It seems like a simpler time, a naiver time.
Yeah. The time when people thought Yoshi was going to be cut because he was so late to be revealed.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like there's some characters that after every game are in danger of being cut. Yoshi is not one of them.
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff is one of those that's in danger. Yeah.
Jigglypuff is.
You madman, you actually did it. You put him to sleep.
Awesome. Perfect.
Jake, wake up. You were
So,
saying
Huh?
something.
where were we
Sorry.
at?
You were saying something about Jigglypuff?
Yeah, Jigglypuff is one of those characters that I feel like after every release of Super Smash Brothers, there's always some sort of, oh, Jigglypuff, that character's not going to be in the next Super Smash Brothers.
Yep.
After I remember it, I've distinctly remember it being a danger during the Brawl hype cycle,
Yeah.
and then it reared its head again in Super Smash Brothers 4. And I think that sometimes we over here kind of miss the fact that Jigglypuff is actually one of those characters that was going to be one of the flagship characters in the Pokemon series, based on as early as Pokemon
The anime.
Green and Blue in Japan, and yes, the Pokemon anime as well.
Well, see, the
Yeah.
funny thing about that, too, is that, assuming I understand the situation correctly, and I might have to look back at some articles to remind myself on this, but in Smash Brawl, I don't believe Jigglypuff... I think Jigglypuff almost missed the cut.
That's right. Yeah,
It
that's
was
kind of what I remember too.
Yeah, it was because they delayed... They delayed things to get Sonic in, which then gave them extra time to also work on Jigglypuff, Toon Link, and Wolf.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh,
so
wow.
we got 4 characters for the price of 1, assuming my understanding is correct, which it could be wrong. But
That again kind of goes back
But when are you
towards
ever?
that again kind of goes back towards when we had this this notion of everyone is here, because and porting this character, like porting Smash 4, that's just not their style. They delayed for Sonic, and then we got 3 more characters out of the mix, and then here again we've kind of got this parallel where we thought we were getting a port, and they said no, let's do better. Let's give them everyone instead of just what we got in Smash 4, which is not a humble amount of characters, but then also to add the however many that got cut over time back into Smash Ultimate. Like, as you said, that takes a lot of revising all the old assets and porting them to a new engine, maybe, that they weren't there before.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Jigglypuff's really turned a new leaf, though. In future Smash titles, or maybe even as DLC, I'm kind of hoping for more iterations of Jigglypuff to become playable. We can have Dr. Jigglypuff. We can have Pink Gold Jigglypuff.
Pink
or Rose
Gold Jigglypuff.
Yeah,
What
we can
about
have,
Alolan and Galarian Jigglypuff?
Oh yeah, Galarian
That too.
Gigantamax Jigglypuff.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Jigglypuff wearing a mask of my face.
Oh yeah,
okay.
that'll
Yeah.
almost certainly make the cut.
Make a Lord Jigglypuff.
I'm
Yeah.
uninstalling Smash now.
Jigglypuff riding a dinosaur, T-Rex.
You know, usually your joke is Mokujin, so I'm surprised you did something
Yeah.
different for once.
Yeah. Well, old puffs learn new tricks.
Could you imagine the world in which we got a Pokemon Let's Go Jigglypuff instead of Pokemon Let's Go Eevee?
Honestly, if there had been a third version, Jigglypuff would have been my bet.
Oh man.
That or
How about
Clefairy.
Pokemon Let's Go Charizard, where Charizard is the only Pokemon in the entire game.
Isn't that how the games are right now?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's what I heard when I found out that, oh, hey, the 7 extra stages I wanted to add it to the Smash 4 port for Switch were Fountain of Dreams and Venom from Melee, Saffron City from 64, because seriously, why wasn't that brought back in Smash 4 originally? And then 4 stages that we didn't get, and I don't know how, Gangplank Galleon, Bowser's Castle, Mumbo's Mountain, and finally get a stage for Robin, Gyromite. Just I don't know what the stage would have been, just something from his games, because seriously, why?
Yeah.
We didn't get Mumbo's Mountain, but we do actually have Spiral Mountain, which might be the same mountain. I don't know, Banjo-Kazooie.
As time would tell, though, I mean, you were spot on with those returning stage predictions, weren't you?
Yes.
But as far as the new stages go, we got Banjo-Kazooie contest, so I'll give that to you. We still don't have Gangplank Galleon, which is a little bit of a glare, but Bowser's Castle is still, to this day,
one of the most
what-
iconic locations in all of Nintendo, and it's not in Smash.
And I
How?
don't count the Paper Mario thing.
That is an abomination, and we don't talk about it.
Sticker Star was the best game in the series.
I am going to go leave this podcast now.
I was joking.
I
It's
wasn't.
terrible. Oh, okay. Are you gonna leave anyway?
No.
Okay. I think. Yeah. So let's lightning round through this.
So
Other wishes.
yeah, so number 9 was just give me more music, which was always going to happen, but it's on there. Number 10 was give me a better character select stream because I hated how Smash Force was organized. Hated it. The Echo,
Oh, yeah.
the little Echoes, or not Echoes, the Clone Fighter section, DLC all just being thrown ungracefully at the bottom. Hated it. It was so bad. And when you had the final product, like the Zelda franchise was no longer all connected to each other on the same line. They had some in the first line, or some in the first row, and then more in the second row. I was like, no, it's ugly. Don't do that. Like, I understand if they didn't want to
Yeah.
update it after every character, because that's going to get annoying. But when they added it, when they knew, like, Bayonetta is our final character, no more, redesign the character selection at that point. Dear God. Awful. I wanted Smash Run to come back. And I wanted split screen multiplayer. I wanted a melee style of adventure mode, which we got something way better. Oh, World of Light. So good. I wanted, here's the real funny one. All trophies from Wii U and 3DS took return. RIP trophies.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only thing that disappoints me about trophies being out and having spirits instead is that we don't have the little descriptions. I really wish that the spirits had those tiny little descriptions just written about them. Just like a 2-sentence thing. That couldn't have been that hard. Okay, the translation
That would have
for...
been.
Granted, the translation for 1,300 plus spirits into several different languages, that might have been a bit too much work. But I wanted it.
There is actually a really cool project that maybe we could find and link to in the description of the cast,
Oh.
where some fans actually did go through all of the spirits and created some descriptions for each of them.
That's right, I forgot about that. I wonder if they're still doing it for the new spirits that they've been adding for, like, Daemon Ex Machina and Tetris. Tetris spirits.
L block for Smash.
Oh,
Heck
God.
yeah.
that-
Champion of the game FAQs
I hated that poll
battle.
so much.
battle polls. Do you guys happen to remember that? I'm
Yeah.
not
Oh,
sure if
yeah.
you had
Yeah.
any.
Yeah.
I remember that one, and I remember when the rabid piranha-like fan support got Undertale to win Best Game Ever. Which, thoughts on Undertale notwithstanding, but the fans were crazy that year. They were wanting to murder anyone that would just did the slightest criticism, and it drove me insane.
I remember L Block fondly, though. And I voted for L Block the entire time, so I'm glad that
I
we had that
hate
result.
you.
I kind of think that I also voted for L Block going back in time.
I voted
It
against
was
L
just so
Block
funny.
every time.
Mhm.
It's not
We're,
a character.
Well, we're like brothers, only closer, Jake, as you might
Ugh.
recall.
I do recall.
Oh yeah. Uh, so we're through the list, huh?
I just two last items. One of them was I want to
Okay.
break the targets to return, and instead of every character getting their own level or just having 5 generic ones, I wanted to have one per franchise. So all the Zelda characters would share one, all the Pokemon would share one. Lightens the load just a little, but it still has a little bit of a nice theme to it, not just drab and boring like the one in Brawl. And then the last item, my final wish out of my list of 15 was for Xander Mobus, our dear announcer, to say just those three beautiful little words on the title screen.
I love
Super
you.
Smash Brothers.
That
was it.
Love.
Nope, that's
Oh.
not it. Nope.
Oh, okay.
It was yelling Super Smash Brothers, which we have not had since Melee. And I am not
What's up with
bitter
that?
at all.
I would like for Sakurai to say that.
Yes. Yes.
Yep. Okay, so cool list. There's a lot that has, of course, become outdated, but that's interesting to look back on it from the frame of Smash 4 and just post Smash 4, and looking ahead to the enhanced sport, which we did not get, but thank goodness for that. I would say I'm still hoping for Smash Run, but I don't think we're going to get any new modes anymore. I think Sakurai was true to his word as far as that went. saying we won't get any more modes post home run contest, which is fine. We have World of Light, which is huge, and all manner of other things. If anything else, I would just have them update their online a little more. Everyone is here though. I think, gosh, personally for me, I remember at the time, Zantok, you, and then Eric and myself all came up with like a list of some odd characters that we were predicting would be in Smash, a brand new Smash game prior to the E3 reveal.
Yes.
And also that the three of us had like this smaller lightning round. We're like, okay, let's choose 3 characters that were going to come back and that were going to appear rather.
Yeah.
And I remember that I chose Snake, Ice Climbers, and Ridley, and I was just like, this is a big deal. I just want Snake back. Ice Climbers is obvious, and if we're gonna have Ridley, it's gonna be at E3.
And the funny thing is, I laughed at you. I laughed at you.
You were like, Ridley's never gonna fucking happen. And then what happened?
What
happened?
He's just too big for Smash.
I mean, let's be honest. He kind of is.
Well,
but my thoughts at
too
the
big for
time
Smash
were,
another way.
if we are getting Ridley in Smash, it's going to be at that E3. It will, if he's not at that E3, he's not happening. But then you said Ice Climbers. I'm just like, they're not going to do Ice Climbers at E3. That's a waste. You do Ice Climbers in a direct or as a post on Miiverse or something. You don't make it an E3 highlight. Well, okay, wrong there again.
Hey,
I love my Ice Climbers, but that's not something that I was expecting to be a big moment to advertise the game when you have new characters that you can advertise instead. And
like Mecha Jigglypuff.
No.
What would that sound like? Like
I think it would probably sound something like Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, okay.
I think you need to go through about 4 layers of auto-tune to get Mecha Jigglypuff sound.
Yeah.
Think like, yeah.
And if we had a special effects editor, they would do it now. Oh, wait, we don't have a budget. Never mind.
Yeah, we do. Okay.
No. Yeah, a shoestring. But you had Ice Climbers, Ridley, and Snake, and I thought Snake was never coming back. It's like, nah, Snake's done. After the whole Kojima and Konami thing, it's never happening. But the 3 characters I wrote down were, ironically, wait, hold on. Why did I write down Ice Climbers after what I just said? All right, you know what? Maybe I'm just a damn fool. I don't know. Maybe I was being. I don't know what's going on anymore. Maybe I was completely different from what I thought was going on. Anyways, my other 2 were King K. Rool and Rayman.
Nice.
Because like King K. Rool, because on a similar level, like I wasn't. I had gone back and forth on whether or not Ridley could work in Smash or not. And so my compromise was, okay, well, if it's not going to be Ridley, it's going to be King K. Rool. And I thought Rayman because, well, they're going to show off a third party. Every E3 has shown off a third party character. And Rayman just felt, despite the fact that he's still not in Smash, felt super likely to me, especially after, well, they'll see the, I'm trying to, wow. I'm trying to say like
That's
20 different things, and it's all just breaking.
When you have 4 men in the room.
Okay. But we had the Mario and Rabbids crossover. Rayman just felt like a natural next step. No, instead of the next step was Starlink with Star Fox. Like, okay.
Rabbid Peach. For Smash.
No,
oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, of course.
We, that's a no. But those were the 3 characters that each of us had said. And I got Ice Climbers, but goddamn, you got them all. You never let me live it down. Not once, not ever.
Well, that's the one thing I can hold over you. Otherwise, you're always excelling and beating me in everything that we do. Like the successful older brother that you are, victorious in every angle and aspect of your charismatic life.
I don't know where you're going with that, but I'm going to move on.
Okay.
The other predictions
with us after this.
The other predictions that you had mentioned were created after that whole E3, and we learned because one of the things that Sakurai had told us in Everyone Was Here is that due to the fact that everyone is here, don't expect too many extra characters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the exact wording written down. I probably should have had that, but it was like, yeah, don't expect a lot of newcomers. Like other Smash games have given us like 14, 18 new characters. Don't expect that this time. So I was thinking more around the lines of, yeah, maybe we'll get like 8 or 12 then, which still sounds like a lot. But after the E3 had done, we had created a top 2, assuming maybe like a rounding out a top 5 with the characters that had already been revealed. Then we had a top 6, a top 10, and then for some reason, we had a top 14. I'm not sure what kind of drugs we were on at the time. But then we both also picked 3 Echo Fighters that we thought might get in the game.
Okay, nice.
We were wrong a lot.
Yeah, we were. Like Decidueye, whoops.
Yep, that's a rip. That's a rip.
Or for Eric, it was Mimikyu.
Yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. But, Turbo, Jake, 2 of you... What kind of things were you expecting leading up to that reveal? Like, what characters do you think we would see at E3, or even after the fact? What did you think we would see, like in terms of how many new characters or who some of them might be? Because a lot of people were pretty pessimistic, or some people thought Sakurai was trolling, thinking, "Oh, he says that we're going to get like 20 newcomers."
Yeah, and on top of that, after that, Everyone Is Here release, were you still thinking? This is going to be an enhanced port, but like some other people were after the fact, even with all of that evidence, or like, yeah, this will be an all new game.
For me personally, I thought that at that point that was tipping it in favor of, oh, this is probably going to be a new game with a lot more stuff. But seeing as how the characters that were cut in other games are being brought in, that's got to be a whole new thing, right? And then the second place that my mind went to is Bomberman. I was thinking, this guy's been on Nintendo systems since the NES, great classic video gaming character, and they've got to put something in for him, right? I am glad that he is in Smash now as an assist trophy. It's cool to see, and seeing what they've done, it makes sense that he wouldn't be a character now, but from that point, right after the Direct, I was just thinking, they've got to do it, right?
That's the funny thing is, when they were doing their assist trophies highlight reel, right after Riki had appeared, Sakurai said something to the comment of, "Oh, hey, there might be a special guest coming," or like bombing in, or he said some kind of like pun, and it's like Bomberman. It's like, what? The very first third party assist trophy that didn't have a fighter in Smash. It's like, wait, what? Bomberman's an assist trophy? It's like, why is it not a character? Minds were blown. Minds were blown.
Yeah.
With bombs.
Holy.
I think it's funny how many rules we've come up with to try and put, like, we as in Smash Brothers fans at large, how many rules there are that we've come up with based on more or less nothing, about what can be a character, what is allowed to be a character, what could be what's off limits based on historical precedent. And then now that we have like all these far-fetched character ideas coming from all kinds of far-ranging games and series, and it truly is again an all-star cast, there are really no holds barred as far as what can get in. With that said, at this time, at the time of the E3, I had high hopes that Isaac from the Golden Sun series, or maybe an equivalent character, would make the jump from assist trophy to full-fledged character.
I mean, we did get one, didn't we?
What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure we got an assist trophy that became playable for Smash Ultimate. I'm just trying to think of what it was.
It was Dark Samus.
That's right, Dark Samus.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I forgot about that. That's a good catch.
Who is ironically less unique as a character than they were as an assist trophy.
Well, I think that the whole concept of the Echo Fighters during that trailer, because previous to this, the terminology had, as kind of still is sometimes, but had been clone characters, and now we're gone to talking about them as Echo Fighters. But that's another moment that came out of that Everyone Is Here trailer, if I recall. That weird little E symbol beside some of these characters' names. I don't think we would have known what that. Yeah, exactly. The epsilon. But as people were looking at it in real time, like what's that symbol beside half of these characters' names?
Yep.
Like in the moment, there's so much going on, we're digesting it, and it's easy to forget about something like that. Echo fighters weren't even a thing prior to that. We just had these bonus characters that happened to have the same movesets as other characters in the roster.
Yeah.
Lucina and Marth.
Dr. Mario. Dark
Yes,
Pit.
exactly. Toon Link, Young Link, and actual Link.
Luigi.
A stretch, because I remember
in
going
64
through.
he was.
Yeah, oh for sure. I remember in our time on Smash Mercurius that we always talked about Luigi-fying the clones, if you guys remember that term.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and to that end, with Echo Fighters too, I remember when we got the full-on introduction with them with Daisy, and then doubling on top of that. Oh yeah, Waluigi's an assist trophy again, and just being like, well, this is the one sour note of this entire presentation for me.
Not just that. Not just that, but Waluigi was the assist trophy they used to showcase the fact that, oh, hey, look, you can KO some assist trophies now to get a point. It's like, wow.
Do you
really?
think Sakurai just really does not like Waluigi as a character or a concept, or maybe he's averse to the fan reaction and blowback about him not being a character in Smash and just likes to have some fun at everyone's expense on the internet? Or what do you guys think about that?
While I do think Sakurai does love to troll at times, which as we saw for one of the Smash 4 videos where he's trying to tell us, oh yeah, because of transformations being on, Zero Suit Samus is out. Just kidding. But I don't think he hates Waluigi. I think if he hated Waluigi, he might now, because the fans kind of went nuts after that trailer. But at the time, I don't think so. I think if he hated Waluigi, he just wouldn't have drawn any special attention to Waluigi. I think it was more of he didn't really see that Waluigi had much going for him as a fighter, or maybe he just thought there's a lot of characters that would be better, but Waluigi is still a fun character. People love him. He's a little prankster troll guy. It would be funny if you could KO him. That's kind of where I see Sakurai taking it.
And on top of that, they were I recall at the time too, he's talking about Waluigi. He's like, just because you try hard doesn't mean you'll make it in as a playable character, as a fighter.
That was the Miiverse post for Smash 4.
Yeah, so he's had enough fun trolling us about that subject.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think to this day, it's a character he shouldn't hold any ill will against him, and he has catered to fan bases that dare I say are a little toxic in the past, because we have Sans. So here's to hoping for that. But I'm also happy that Daisy got in, and I'm happy that Frahm got in, and everybody, because it's Echo Fighters they really drove it home that these are characters who have had fan demand, and we're telling you now we're rebranding clones as Echoes, so that way people finally can grasp that these characters are not taking a spot away from other characters that you want.
Yep. It's something he's been trying to say since Melee, where the choice at the end of the day was, do we include one more complete character, which I think was supposed to be either Wario or King Dedede, I could be wrong there, or can I do these 7 characters that are derivatives of others, but it's 7 more characters that people are fans of.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's fair. That's fair.
Absolutely.
And speaking from this place of character development, we can approach this from the roster size too, because even though we had all of these characters coming back and Ridley as a part of the cast, we were also being told at this time that, oh yeah, you're going to start with the 8 characters that formed the starting roster for Smash 64.
Well, actually, I do have the exact words on that. I have exactly what he said. I just defined where I wrote it down. Okay, here it is. Even so, your starting roster may be as small as your original Nintendo 64 game. So there was some
Mhm.
debate about that at the time. And when they had that quote, they showed the original 8, and they added in the additional 4 that were unlockable in Smash 64. And then just like randomly, other characters started fitting in here. So it was heavily
Mhm.
implied, but at the time, there were some pretty heavy debates over, first of all, whether or not that was going to happen, because it says maybe as small, and as small could be 8 random characters. It could be the original 8. It could be 7. It could be 6. It could be 9. It just
Mhm.
we knew something. We knew that they were doing something with the starting roster. We just didn't know what. And I'm honestly, I really like that they did that because only being able to unlock like 7 characters in Smash 4 was disappointing. Do I
I
do I
agree.
Melee kind of went a little far with some of its
Mhm.
requirements.
Yeah.
Thought
I
it was a
actually
lot
really
better.
liked the melee requirements. Some of them were crazy and fun and unique, and
Play a
I
thousand
remember
hours to unlock Mewtwo.
play 1,000 hours. It was generally leave your GameCube on overnight and wake up and have this special surprise of Mewtwo waiting on your character select screen. Well, get the opportunity to fight Mewtwo actually, but
Yeah.
all those kinds of requirements, much like the new evolutions means in the newer Pokemon games, like hold your DS upside down while leveling up.
uh,
Like I kind
Mhm.
of think that's fun, and I like that the aspect of exploring and doing random things and then being surprised by that
Yeah.
unlockable
mm,
method, or finish adventure mode in Melee. Like if you finish the first level with a 2 as the last digit, as a kind of a unique tip of the hat to Luigi.
yeah.
And then he would jump on Mario's head and appear, and you would get to fight him for the chance to unlock him. I've always thought that was kind of fun.
So
Oh yeah.
I don't mind having unique unlock requirements. Just some melee, some of them felt like a little too much in some areas, and just in terms of
Oh, for
difficulty.
sure.
But that's why I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what they did for Brawl and Ultimate as well. Is there are multiple ways to unlock each character. Brawl, there's either play X amount of versus matches, unlock them in subspace emissary, or here's some random task, complete that task, and you can fight them and unlock them there. And Ultimate did a
Mhm.
very similar thing. They just it was unlock them in like World of Light, play X Men versus matches, but also X Men at a time, but also moving around it a little bit was weird with Ultimates. And there's some wacky ass chart of clear classic mode with this character to unlock this guy. Now with this character to unlock this guy, it's a thing.
Well,
Good
I
God.
what I really wanted was for Smash Tour to return and be able to unlock every character that way.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
what?
So, what I really wanted was for Smash Tour to return and unlock every character that way.
Can anybody hear Jonno? I
Have it be the
hear
main.
what
Nope.
I really
Have it
wanted, and
be.
then
Have
he
it be
just cuts
the
out.
main. Have it be the main game mode. Just let that stew for a while.
You,
What if
you
we
mean
had
like
gotten a gotcha mechanic instead?
what
Oh
what
yeah.
what if we
Oh
got an
yeah.
Animal Crossing game, but it was like a port of Mario Party, and you could call it Amiibo Festival.
I love it.
Oh
I
boy.
love it. Hey, now that we're getting some life out of our guest, we should ask him a question. Starting with Jake, what were your thoughts on approaching the roster in Smash? Because it was eventually in Ultimate, where it was eventually revealed that yeah, we're starting with the original 8, and you would just kind of have to build on to your roster from there to to grab all of these characters back and build your roster from that really low baseline. How do you feel about that from a design aspect?
For me personally, I loved it.
Starting with
I
Trevor.
really loved. I don't know who else was. I didn't see
No,
them.
yeah. Go ahead. That's fine.
So
Hmm.
so getting to finally be able to unlock a bunch of characters coming straight from Smash 4 and being sorely disappointed that, like the lister said, the 7 unlocks. It just felt paltry compared to Melee, where I played the game so much and didn't know about characters for years and years up until I played at a friend's house. It kind of gave me a bit of nostalgia, being able to unlock characters, not necessarily by as esoteric of means, but just being able to earn that, it was fantastic.
Yeah, I actually I agree with you. From that standpoint, for sure, it was a big change from Smash 4, especially, but also just kind of for the first time having this baseline. I think starting out from where everything began with 64 was a good way to drive home that ultimate tagline. Like, yeah, this is the ultimate game, so we're going to bring it back to the start, and you're just going to have to work your way through it. And it kind of feels like recruiting these heroes to your team and villains and all manner of characters to this grand team, this grand collective. So that was a really fun approach, I thought, as well. Yeah. How about you, Jake?
I agree completely. It was just such a it's a really cool concept to have that growth. It always gives you something to look forward to each time you're playing, and I certainly did a bunch of games on the very first day I had the game in my possession.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that led to unlocking a lot of characters right off the hop. But even continuing days in, and there not being a set order, for example, like in Smash Brawl, where you had an incremental amount of versus matches to play through, and then you would unlock the next character, but it was
Mm-hmm.
always in a static order. It was
Mm-hmm.
cool in those first couple of weeks to, as I was working my way through and unlocking all of the characters, to get a chance to have like a different subset of this crazy roster than maybe my friend down the street had or something like that. Like I could go over
Yeah.
and be like, "Oh man, you have Robin. I don't have Robin yet. I have like
Corin.
Zelda and I have Roy, or yeah, I have Corrin." But it's cool to see things like that where it gives you the chance to talk about it with your friends and see, oh, you've got that person. Oh, that's so cool. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a cool talking point. It's a cool feeling, and sometimes maybe a little frustrating if you're waiting for your specific favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what the world of light is for, where you get the chance to kind of unlock the characters you want based on the path that you take. If you
Yeah.
look ahead, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless your favorite is one of the 4 that are resigned in the final map of the game.
Yeah,
In which case,
that's true.
good luck, Bayonetta fans.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
2 of you.
I'm a man.
But
Gosh.
speaking of the various different ways that you can unlock characters in Smash Ultimate, how did you guys unlock your characters? Like, did you specifically do World of Light first just to get everyone that way? Did you want to do all the classic modes first? Did you kind of mix and match? Did you look up did you just randomly play and you like who you get? Because I know for me, like I just jumped straight into classic mode because I wanted to get a feel for how a new character worked, and then after that I
Mhm.
went and did World of Light to actually
Yeah.
go through the whole story.
Yeah, I went straight into classic mode as well for the same reasons. And now that I've collected my thoughts, I regathered. I was going to say this earlier, but totally blew my cover there and forgot. What I was going to say was approaching Ultimate from this line of, oh, you're only starting with this many characters. You need to fight for all of these other characters, umpteen numbers. It really brings you into the world of Ultimate fast. Coming off of Smash 4, Ultimate's engine, the way that you play the game is much faster paced, a lot harder hitting. So I found myself those first couple weeks trying to unlock these characters from classic mode. I was like, man, I just want King K. Rool, but King K. Rool keeps kicking my ass. You know, so that was a fun approach too, because it really, really just pounds into your head how to approach this game and the new computers and the new play style, so that way you don't suck at the end of it.
That's another thing
Um,
entirely. Yeah, the
yeah.
the new AI when you're fighting the unlockable characters.
Mhm.
I'm not really. I'm a little ashamed, but not too ashamed to admit that there were a couple that caught me off guard, and then I thought I would have an easy time unlocking all of these fighters, but right away I think I got my butt handed to me by the AI Zelda.
Ooh.
Playing against, for example, like playing as whatever character I was playing as from the original 8, probably Mario.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really ramped up the challenge in a couple of those battles right off the hop, and I think, as I recall, there's some sort of like incremental difficulty
I believe so.
based on
Mm-hmm.
the
How many you
on
have?
how many you have exactly. So
Yeah.
Yeah, precisely. Trevor, how did you approach unlocking characters?
Uh, the first few I unlocked while I was playing with my fiance, just doing versus mode and getting to hallmarks like 5 matches, 10 matches, as we just played against each other, and that was a lot of fun because the winner of the matches, which um, even though I played a lot of melee, was not me half the time. My fiance kicked my butt a lot,
Hmm.
and the computers then tended to kick our butts a whole bunch. And I remember getting the whole knee and meteor smashed out by the Captain Falcon AI, which was like one of the first two that we tried to unlock. And it was embarrassing the amount of times I would have to go and play a couple games, come back, try it again, fail, play another couple games, try to come back again. My ego was bruised, but it really did help me like get in, play a bit better, and have more fun with it though.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And really I think that the final you might say it was a big announcement at the bottom end of the Everyone is Here trailer. With Ridley. We kind of covered it a little earlier, where I predicted Ridley would be in the game and Lister didn't. So ha 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 ha. But
No, now hang on. That was not the prediction. The prediction was he was
now's
going to
your
reveal
ha.
at E3.
yeah, yeah. So I predicted Ridley would be revealed at but you would have to admit you were a believer that it just wasn't going to. Ridley was
I
one of the few
wasn't
characters you're like, he
sure.
really is too big. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the
Because I think
more time that passed from Brawl to Ultimate, like originally I was on the background. I was like, no, he's not too big. You're crazy. What's going on here? But that
mhm.
didn't get in Smash 4. Then the more time that kept passing, I was just like, maybe he is. Oh man.
You know what?
Oh, that
I'll
kind
make
of
a
sucks. And
prediction
you know
right now.
what? Honestly, he
Yeah.
was. He really was too
Mhm.
big. I'm saying it here. Ridley's design in Ultimate is a wholly new Ridley design. So yes, he was too big. He just created a new look. So screw it.
I am feeling bold today.
Oh no.
Kraid will be in Super
Oh
Smash
god.
Brothers 6.
I mean,
Kraid will be
if
playable.
okay, I would say because Brinstar Depths is a thing.
Hmm. You will get Kraid, and
Nah.
that will be the new catchphrase. Every time I
The
dunk
very
on you
next,
as Kraid in Super Smash Brothers 6, I will yell, "Get Kraid!"
if Kraid becomes playable in the next Super Smash Bros. Game, I am quitting this podcast.
So we all win.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
here's a hot take. My prediction for the next Metroid character isn't Silex. It's Adam Malkovich in a mecha suit from Metroid Prime or from whatever the Federation Force game was called.
Federation Fighter.
Adam Malkovich in one of those mecha suits. That's the next Metroid rep. Saying it here.
Oh man.
You heard it here first,
I want
folks.
Anthony Higgs.
I've been wanting to make that move set for a long time, actually.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just think the newcomer will probably just be Metroid. The baby.
Metroid isn't Smash. Metroid's a robot.
No,
Why can't Metroid?
Why can't Metroid crawl? Yeah, that's true. That's true. So
I think the Metroid games. I feel like we've kind of exhausted the playable fighter pool. We already have 3 characters in a game that is largely and about
Just
being
Samus.
alone, isolated, and being just Samus exactly in an alien planet, a hostile alien planet. So I think I would be surprised if we got any more fighters from the
Yeah.
Metroid series.
It's true.
With that said, the Ridley trailer, I think that was one of those crazy moments that of the like after all of that crazy the big crazy reveal of everyone is here and then having a big span of time in that original direct in that direct where it was devoted to talking about the game. I think we all kind of maybe I don't know, maybe it was just me, I thought that was going to be the end of it. And then we had this tense atmospheric walkthrough with Mega Man, Mario, and Samus. Is it
Yep.
where they're all
Mhm.
walking around and we have them being killed?
Yeah, Mega Man got fucking gored through his chest with Ridley's tail, and then Mario just gets swiped off, and Ridley's stolen his hat. It's like, oh god,
Do you
it's
guys do you guys remember the tweets afterwards where they had to reassure fans that these fighters were not actually dead?
yes,
Yes.
and then the
Yes.
fans listen,
Yes.
no, because most every trailer after that had somebody getting brutally murdered in some way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Good old
It's
Luigi.
like the one exception was the Isabelle trailer.
But the Ridley trailer itself, coming on the heels of a crazy information overload for a lot of us, having that tense build up to a big reveal like Ridley.
Ridley hits the big time.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep.
That was a pretty
Yeah.
magical moment as well, especially again on the tails of talking about don't expect too many new fighters. Don't expect we've got a lot of returning characters, and there's been clearly a lot of work into revamping some of those older assets like Roy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, and we had approached this from this angle too. I mean, we already had this big roster build up with all the returning characters. It's like, what character could equal that bigness? Oh yeah, the big guy, Ridley. Ridley hits the big time. I have much of the same views. It was a hugely magical moment. I was probably even more hyped for Snake at the very beginning with Everyone Is Here, because I wanted Snake back. I didn't believe he would come back, and then he came back, and that was a magical moment. I felt like I was out of my body. I probably cried, uh, and then we topped it off with Ridley. And I remember Lister at that time in this stream that I think the four of us were actually a part of for E3 2018, where he was like, his stream was a little before everyone else's.
Yep.
I mean, was a little after everyone else's. And you're like, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm just gonna shut up. I'm not gonna say anything until you see it. And then just like 5 seconds later, the chat room just fills up with people's screams.
Well,
Oh,
even
Ridley!
funnier than that is I said, like, because they started the trailer, we didn't see what was happening yet. I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna be quiet because I know I'm ahead of you guys and I don't want to spoil it. But then as soon as it clicked and I see the background, this like dark machinery looking place, whatever, I started screaming out, mute me right now, mute me now. I know what this is. Oh my god, mute me the hell right now. And I was like, oh my god, it's fucking Ridley. He's actually here. I can't believe it. And I didn't want to say it before anyone else had seen it. So it's just like, I can't trust myself not to speak. You guys need to fucking mute me. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Trevor, what did you think of Ridley?
Well, first I was a little jarred by that trailer, as you guys have kind of alluded to, but I was a little astounded that they fit in what was previously a boss character from Brawl into as a character, seeing the gargantuan size that was presented to us with the character. I was thinking, there's no way. There's really no way. Zantok's got to be right about this. But then seeing that and how they did it, it was fantastic. Bit odd to see a more humanoid like walk cycle for Ridley, really. But I would after that I knew anything was possible at this point, and boy has it been showing us sense with all of the new inclusions, DLC. Ridley was like the point that like Sakurai made me a believer with, like, oh shit,
Oh, yeah.
we're getting like the best character ideas. And
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, like
I was so happy to be wrong. So happy.
Man, and to this day, I mean, we've now been proven. We've just had that door repeatedly burst, for better or for worse, because I mean, we've passed the door of, oh, generic enemies can't be playable in Smash, but at the same time, we have King K. Rool, we have Ridley, two characters who were hugely debated over and hoped for I think over a decade. And same for Banjo and Kazooie and many other characters who have driven hype through the cycle.
The three of them
So
were the most requested characters after Melee
yeah,
until the
yeah.
inclusion. Like they were considered like the big three, and then all of a sudden
Hmm.
we got Ridley. A few months later, we got K. Rool. This
That was a
year
good
we
moment for
got
me.
Banjo. It's like the entire big three is in. Now what?
Hmm.
Who's our
Hmm.
new big three? All right, Gino's one to be one
Bandanity,
of them. But who? Oh yeah, Bandanity's probably one of them. Gino, Bandanity, and Isaac probably.
Isaac. Yeah, yeah.
But
I
even
think so.
then, that's like now we're starting to really reach for the stars. I think in as much as we've got, like, what more do you ask for on top of a 90 character roster
Dirk
like
the
this?
Daring.
Yeah, L Block from Tetris, like
Yeah.
the dreams never stop, as we can all well attest to from our time
Yep.
making fantasy move sets at Smash Mercurius and beyond. But um,
There will never not be
it's
character
crazy. There's
requests.
never not going to be new character requests, but what we've got is just mind blowing already.
Yep.
It's the creme de la creme.
Yes, exactly.
Ultimate
Mhm.
honestly has to be concerned for what's next because they can't replicate this. This is lightning in a bottle. You will not replicate this ever again. It's impossible. The next
Lightning.
Smash
That's
game is
it.
either going to have to be completely different or I don't even know what. I don't know. I don't know
Are
what
you
they could possibly do.
saying Are you saying they should change genres and make it like a cart-based or a party-based kind of game?
No,
Do something
I
entirely different?
I mean more like an overhaul of the fighting system.
Maybe an Animal Crossing inspired
Yes.
Smash Brothers?
Yes. I
Only if
like
it's
where he's
also
going with
Mario
this.
Party.
Um, light lightning though. You mentioned lightning. That gives me a better idea. And it's not to have lightning from Final Fantasy playable in the game because who wants
Oh
that?
God, please no.
Um,
The lightning
just
bolt from Mario Kart?
so close. I was
Lucky
thinking
two.
here's here's how they can top it for Smash 6. The only way they can top it is
Let's hear it.
to introduce someone who is
Volt to
known
Usain.
for lightning. Close.
Why did I
Harry
say
Potter.
that? I've said this wrong. I'm an idiot.
Harry Potter, of course. Harry Potter will be
I think
playable
that
in
was
Super Smash
probably the
Bros. 6.
last thing that came to mind.
You
Not
know,
gonna lie.
I know exactly
Yeah.
why he's saying it. The other day, I was going through all my old documents on my computer because I tend to have like a million different random things crammed into my documents because I have horrible organization with them. And I found that I did 4 movesets for these random characters. I don't know why. I just had things written down. And for some reason, I made a base moveset for Harry Potter. I don't know what drugs I was on. I just did it. But one of the moves was trapping somebody inside the sorting hat for some reason. I don't know. But that's why he's doing this. And I'm upset. This was not supposed to be repeated. And now it's out there.
What if Harry Potter were playable in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the
I'm gonna
Well,
have to-
now
Nintendo
you guys
Switch?
have to do like a publication on your channel where you read out the move sets and do like a little intro video for the imagined move sets. I think
I
that would be the next fun side project.
well, that's why we
Yeah.
have Smashtopia episodes.
Yep.
I just
Yep.
I just looked it up to see who the other characters were that I had in that document. I had Bowyer from Mario RPG, Shadow from Final
Interesting.
Fantasy VI, Steve from Minecraft, and Cubone. I don't know
Nice.
why I did
What a
this.
smattering.
Yeah, it was really weird. I don't know what happened. Why did I do
So
this?
you're telling me that Shadow crossed over into Final Fantasy?
Yes, Shadow the Hedgehog is in Final Fantasy VI.
Does he have his guns?
He replaced them with shurikens. Actually, it's kind of strange.
Okay, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we were hit with this final megaton. We thought we had it all with Everyone Is Here in Ridley, but then they're like, "Oh yeah, Smash is coming on December 7th," and it's like, what?
Almost 5 months. No, wait. 6 months. Yeah. Nearly 6 months after the trailer on June 12th.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
This year? That's insane.
Yeah. Seriously. Being presented with all of this new content, new and old, and having so much that has to be recycled and put into this new blender to work with a new engine was remarkable to really see that release date in front of us and say, this is going to be delayed, isn't it? I mean, how could this possibly be something that is real life after all of this? And after that, I set my pre-order down the second that they were available, of course. But beyond that, and I picked up a GameCube adapter again because I had actually given my Wii U to Trevor because I was like, well, screw this thing, and I gave him the adapter port too. Gosh, but what a magical feeling, and I felt really on top of my game for weeks after that reveal, and it was this is the Smash crowd, so I can't say it was pathetic, but I was pretty uplifted for a while just because of that trailer. It felt like a dream, and it still feels like a dream. And Sakurai is still, and his whole team and Nintendo are still delivering with Smash. I mean, you could say what you will about Sword and Shield or any other title. At least we are getting consistent surprise and wonder in a way that it gets rarer and rarer to really capture the older that you get. So I'm glad that we still have something to lean back on that brings that kind of nostalgic joy and wistfulness that we get from Ultimate again and again and again. It's been a blast. Coming in 6 months. Goodness gracious. Man. Well, boys, you have any thoughts on that release date? Did you think that we were getting it in time? Do you think it would be delayed?
Boys,
I think
that's you.
I think that December was very close by, like really unexpectedly so. And of course, when we see release dates like that, it's kind of like it's an aggressive time frame for sure. And there's always that question: where will it come out on that actual date? Is that really over aggressive for Nintendo? And I think that it's a really specific, like clearly this had been in the works for a while by the time we got to see the Everyone Is Here trailer.
Yeah.
So I guess it wasn't too surprising that we would get it so soon, because there was still that feeling that it could be just an enhanced port. But then as we started to see, this was way more than just an enhanced port, and so we were getting almost a full-fledged new game, even though there were obviously some assets that were still good enough and up to the standard that Nintendo has that could be reused from Smash 4. So it felt unrealistic, but also realistic and very exciting, of course.
Yeah.
All the same.
There was almost harrowing factor to it, where your nerves stand up on end, your hair stand up a little bit, just where you're thinking, is this really real? Is this really happening in just 6 months? It's a lot. It's a lot like waiting on a pregnancy.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say like waiting for Christmas,
segue.
But that's an interesting thing too. Do you have something that you want to tell us, John?
Yeah, just wait for Christmas and we'll find out.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Well, for Christmas this year, I would like Gino and Smash.
That would be nice. For Christmas this year, I would like Mecha Jigglypuff and Smash.
Why do you got to do this to me?
Yep. Hey, Trevor, what do you want for Christmas this year?
My 2 front teeth.
Okay, well, you might want to dig them out in the backyard. And what do you want for Christmas, Jake?
That's a great question. Just the love and friendship that I already am blessed with.
You have love and friendship?
I love you too. I love you too.
Great job.
I was thinking like maybe you're going to be... Are you going to be 25 on your birthday, I think? Somewhere around there.
I will be turning 25.
Oh, you're so young.
25 pairs of socks.
What?
You know what? That sounds fabulous. I would like 25 pairs of socks in the next Super Smash Brothers game.
Well, actually, now I want to look at all the characters and be like, okay, who wears socks and who doesn't? Because we probably already have that.
These are the chances that we go on, and this is why there's a podcast.
This is the hard-hitting stuff that we get out of Supercast Brothers podcast.
All right,
Yep,
let's
yep.
take a look at the cast just because this is now on my mind.
gosh.
Who wears socks and who doesn't? So obviously, Mario and Luigi, they wear socks. In Peach's artwork, she is not wearing socks, so we've only got 2 so far. Bowser is a no. Dr. Mario, absolutely. Rosalina, I'm gonna guess does not. No, I don't think she does. I think I just see just barely part of her foot in her art, so no socks there. Nothing from Bowser Jr. Yoshi, I'm gonna guess no socks. I don't see them, but I see shoes. But I'm guessing no socks. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no socks. Yoshi's a hip kind of guy. He's hip.
All right.
He's hip to the trend. He's trotting around. He knows what he's doing.
Alright.
He needs to keep his spare tax money in those shoes.
Well, that's not entirely false. Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong. I mean, obviously they're not wearing socks. What are you talking about? Link, I'm going to assume does. He's a world traveler. He knows you don't just put your bare foot in your boot. That's horrible on your foot. It's horrible on your boot. So I'm going to stay forward with Link.
Well, his toenails might fall off.
You know what? They just might. Zelda's art shows her bare foot, so she's not wearing socks. Sheik has that bodysuit thing going on, so I'm going to say no socks for Sheik.
Mm-hmm.
God, I have time to flip back and forth between so many pages here. Young Link, I mean, just like regular Link, probably wearing socks. He's a child, but
Mr. Game & Watch.
this child, I'm assuming he's not that stupid not to have socks either. We're not a Game & Watch yet. Ganondorf, probably rocking some socks. I'm going to call it. And they're probably black, just like his heart. So we got 6 sock wearing characters so far. We're getting there. We're getting to that 25. Toon Link, socks. I'm just saying it. We got 7 now.
Yep.
Samus, no socks for Samus. Nope. Seriously, Samus either. There's no socks. I'm pretty sure those are just Kirby's feet and not shoes, so no socks. Meta Knight, King Dedede, no socks for either of them. Now here's the tricky one. The Star Fox boys. Are those boots or are those robot legs like implied in some of the older game manuals? Because if they're robot legs, no socks.
I just imagine this portion of the podcast being like if we were actually all in a room, the 3 of us would just start walking out. And then you would still keep going. And it would be good. It would be a good bit. And you know what they say? You gotta sock it to them.
I hate you so much. I hate you so much. You're ruining everything.
Yeah.
You're ruining my life.
Well, you should see the text conversation that's going on in this.
I see it now. I do. Apparently, my sock dissertation is not appreciated.
Oh, it is. It is. It was.
Your research is appreciated for sure.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Oh, absolutely. Beautifully incorporated. Absolutely. Thank you. But I think
So
in the spirit of playing Smash Brothers after recording a successful, messy and beautiful podcast that captures the pure essence of friendship, I want to say thank you, Trevor, and thank you, Jake, for joining us. And I also would like to ask you at this time if you have any thoughts to round up, just reflecting on the podcast or on the trailer, anything you want to toss out there before we wrap things up.
I just want to say thanks for having us. It's been a great experience and always a pleasure to get to chat with you guys about one of these series that is near and dear to our hearts, and to kind of go back and revisit some really exciting stuff that we got from this series and in its latest installment. It's been cool to relive those moments and indulge in the beautiful chaos that is our friendship and
Yeah.
And those moments that come with it, such as the Everyone Is Here trailer and socks.
Yeah, exactly. And Trevor, how about you?
It truly warms my heart to be able to have a chance to reminisce on the thing that brought us all together years ago, talking about Smash Bros. And uh, doing it, whether it's just in general or in a podcast format, it's always a ton of fun. And I really appreciate that you guys invited me on today.
Oh yeah, and it was a great improvised moment of genius on my behalf. So I also want to thank myself for thinking of putting Trevor in here at the last second.
We all thank you.
Thank you. And how about you, Lister? Any final thoughts?
I mean, as always, it's always great to record another episode of Supercast Brothers because we get the chance to talk about subjects that we we normally will talk about with ourselves anyways, just on any random old day, no real reason to have them. We just like, hey, here's a thought. But it's enjoyable to be able to record these conversations, either with or just between us or with guests, and just get to show people our passion because we love Smash.
Oh, yeah.
We will never not love Smash. It is just so enjoyable to be able to go like, I love this thing. I want to show you how much I love this thing. And are those robot legs or do they have socks? I need to know. Somebody please help me.
Maybe it's both. Maybe Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong socks are actually the feet on them, and there's something else beneath those.
I want to know.
Yep.
Truly a horrifying thought.
What's horrifying is the game manual for the original Star Fox says they have robot legs, so they have to be chopped off. That's horrifying.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's true. All right. Reining it in. Next episode, we're bringing it back to Smashtopia. It's going to be another guest episode. I wonder who that guest is going to be. And we're going to feature a villainous character from a franchise that some would say is underrepresented in Smash, even now when everyone is here.
It's going to be
With
fun.
that said, absolutely, it's going to be a ton of fun. And we will be workshopping that before you know it. But in the meantime, I think we're just about done. Thank you again to Jake and Trevor for joining us. Everyone was here for our Everyone is Here conversation, and I really appreciate that. That was a lot of fun. We got to get together again sometime. In the meantime, I think that to wrap things up, I will just say that did you know that a toad is actually a subset of a frog, and they're not two entirely different species? That blew my mind. Okay.
Toad actually does wear socks.
Oh, interesting. I just want to know what that fact does for frog and toad. So if it may as well be called frog and frog. Okay. Sweet dreams to all. And to all a good morning, afternoon, or night. Amen.
No.